I'm hating this so much. This is the fourth time I'm recording this. The first time I lost the script. The second time I deleted the recording by mistake. The third one it got corrupted, and this is the fourth one. Gosh, I hate my life. As you saw, the topic of today's theory is
mankind has been doomed to this Garden of Eden. Now this entire species erased, millions of acres defaced. But yet sits in a mirror, the Menschheit also reaching.
Patient Zero. Now, Patient Zero is the final boss of Intermediate Mode and also the little scientist who caused the entire zombie infection. He works as a lead scientist at OSSX Enterprises, and we do not know if he's related to the towers or not. But what we do know is that he is an absolute mad psychopath, just freaking insane in the head. It all started after Act 3, when the God Cube blew up and the shards went everywhere. Patient Zero, at the time just Zero, was aware of the presence of these shards and he wanted one for himself. However, it was just unfeasible to get a shard just like that. So he instead tried experimenting ways of getting some of the same effects. This is what caused the zombie outbreak. However, instead of working to solve the infection, Patient Zero actually used it to his advantage, using the zombies for some experiments. One of the most successful experiences was the Gravedigger. Now, what leads me to believe that Gravedigger was an experiment from Patient Zero? When Gravedigger summons, he does this lightning thing from the sky. This is the exact same lighting that Patient Zero does whenever he summons in Intermediate Mode, thus meaning that the Gravedigger was somewhat a successful experiment and Patient Zero reused his compounds later on to power himself up. After experimenting on other scientists even, he finally gets a hold of the shard himself. However, he decides to mix the shard with the already present compounds, which causes the shard to lose some of its power. If that didn't happen, Patient Zero would just be as powerful as Krampus or Awakened Fallen King. After this, Patient Zero attacks with his army of infected scientists in Intermediate Mode and we defeat him. And that's his backstory. But it is not a Mr. Master King theory video if I do not bring in
Attention to hide I finally retrieved it! Now are we ready to start the apocalypse again?
Fallen King. This guy is everywhere in theories, and even when we're talking about Mission Zero, the main focus turns out to be him. After we defeated him the first time, Fallen King has been paying close attention to what the towers did, and he knows about Patient Zero's defeat. However, since he, as well as all the other bosses, are on the lookout for some shards, he's extremely interested in Patient Zero in particular since he sees this sort of corruption and power in him. So he decides to send some Fallens and get him in, and he basically hired him as a personal scientist. Why is this, you may ask? Well, the Fallens are sort of a medieval themed kingdom. They aren't really great with science. But having a modern scientist, one of the smartest people in the world who caused an entire zombie infection and also knows about the God Cube, can help the Fallens be extremely powerful. So Patient Zero essentially does the same thing he did with his own scientists. He experiments on some Fallen convicts. This is how we get some of the Fallen enemies, such as the Fallen Giant. As you can see, as the outfit of an average prisoner, we also get some more enemies that are modified, such as the Corrupted Fallen, which is a really interesting enemy, and I don't really have an explanation for the Corrupted Fallen. For what we know, he may not be related to Patient Zero's experiments at all. Just to put the cherry on top, we have the Abnormals and the Quicks. The Abnormals are, as the name suggests, mutated normals. You can see this by their veins being extremely grown. Patient Zero got some of the normal zombies from his own army and mutated them into the Abnormals and Quicks. He then sent them out to fight for Fallen King. It is also likely that Patient Zero informed Fallen King of not touching the shard immediately, avoiding the same mistake that Patient Zero himself did, and instead convinced Fallen King to keep the shard just in case of an emergency. If Fallen King hadn't touched the shard, he wouldn't be fully aware of his powers and would kinda end up like Patient Zero. However, he keeps the shard away, studies it, and uses it to become, you guessed it, Awakened Fallen King. Anyway, that's going to be it for this other TDS theory, which, oh my god, it was a hassle to record this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this down below, and I will see you in the next one.
Mankind has been doomed to this Garden of Eden. Now this entire species erased, millions of acres defaced. But yet sits in Emir, the Menschheit außerrichten.